Good morning and welcome to part 2 of Plastic Free Basics. This is a series of video talks that we're doing at our organisation, which is Plastic Free Denome, to try and help people to reduce their plastic waste a little bit without having to do really expensive things or invest in lots of stuff or really inconvenience themselves. So today's talk, I want to keep really brief, is about bottled water. Okay, so lots of people, when I go out and about, I see them in the street and lots of them have got bottled water, mineral water. And this is something that is just really easy to cut out, and you'll cut out all those single-use plastic bottles that are having to be got rid of either through recycling, or very often if you're out and about, they just end up in the general bin, don't they? So, a few ways to do this. When you're at home, see my fridge behind me there? In that fridge is a big, large bottle, glass bottle of tap water that we keep in the fridge just for when people want a glass of cold water. So we're not having to buy a big 2-litre bottle of mineral water from the supermarket or wherever you go shopping, because that's always just there. So when you're out and about, take with you a water bottle. Now this one is one of probably the fancier types. This is a metal one and it's insulated, so it will keep your drink cold. It's about the same size, isn't it, as the sort of disposable bottles that you buy, 500ml, I think they are. This belongs to my husband. It looks like the chili bottles one, but it's actually not. It was from Aldi and I think it was £3.50. These, I've seen similar ones in Wilko's and in Tesco and Sainsbury's for around £5 each. So that's if you want to buy one, invest in something. You could use something you've already got. For instance, this one here, this had passata in it, and I've used this for a few things around the house, but you could use that as a water bottle out and about. It's got a lid. You could do the same with a jam jar, actually, an old jam jar. Instead of sticking it in the recycling, keep it and think, well, I'll use that for water when I go out. You could also use, if you've got one of these coffee cups, it does work for other things, not just coffee, so you can stick water in it too. That's another option. If you're at work, and you don't need something with a lid on, you could just take an ordinary cup from home, whether that's a mug like this one, or it could be a beaker or a glass, anything you've got really. Most offices have cups in the cupboard, so you could use those too. So that's that. Now, when you're out and about, where are you going to get your water from? Now, if you're at work or school, college, you will have provision for that. There'll be tap water available. If you're out and about in town, I urge you to download the Refill app, which is a brilliant app which gives you information on a map, which is live, to tell you where you can go, businesses, cafes, pubs, etc., that have agreed to offer water refills for bottles, etc. There's no charge for that. It's completely free. The app is also completely free, and any business can register with that. And if you're a business that wants to register, please get in touch and we'll get you a window sticker, and we'll get you information about how to do that and get you put on the app. When we went on holiday this year, we didn't use any disposable plastic bottles. We used our bottles and we just looked on the app and refilled all around the different places that we visited. So that's absolutely fantastic. Now, when I talk to people about water, sometimes a few issues crop up, and I just want to quickly run through a couple of those. The first one is people have said to me, well, tap water is not safe to drink. It's not safe for drinking water. Here's the thing. If you live in the UK and you are drinking mains water, it is 100% safe for drinking straight from the tap. We have some of the best quality water in the world. In Yorkshire, where we live, in my opinion, it's some of the best tasting water that there is. And it's absolutely perfect for drinking straight from the tap. So please don't worry about that. It is safe. If you live in another part of the world, you will need to obviously investigate that yourself and contact your water provider or your local authority to find out what their suggestions and advice is on that. The second thing that I've recently been asked is about fluoride being added to tap water. If you live in this area where we are in West Yorkshire, fluoride is not added to the water. I've checked that with Yorkshire Water, and that's not something that they do in this area. They've also advised me that the majority of the UK, fluoride is not being added to drinking water. However, In some areas it is, and so if you don't live in this area, in this part of Yorkshire, then my advice is to check with your provider. There will be traces of fluoride in drinking water, and that's because fluoride occurs naturally in water, and that's the same in bottled water as well. So, but it's perfectly safe. It's not being added in quantities which are going to be harmful to you. However, if it is being added in your area and that's something that bothers you, then obviously you'll need to think about that. But in this area, it's not the case, it's not being added. Some people say they don't like the taste of water from the tap. A couple of ways to deal with this. You can boil it first, which will get rid of any chemicals, chlorine, etc. that's being added to make sure that it's safe. And that will get rid of that. That will also happen if you leave it to stand for a few minutes. You can also get water filters, and that's not free. There will be a cost to that, but you can buy the water filter jugs that you can filter your water with. And I think you can actually get attachments to your tap as well that will do that. But that's not something I do. I don't find it a problem. As I say, I really like the taste of the water around here. So that's that one. Yeah, I think that's everything. Why wouldn't you use tap water instead of buying bottled water? It's going to be a huge saving. I had a little look around some sort of retail outlets when I was out in town the other day, and your 500ml plastic water bottles are retailing between 50p and £1 each. So if you're buying one every day, you're going to save easily over £200 a year with just getting water out of the tap. Think what you could do with £200 a year. That would be quite a nice shopping trip, or you could even give it to charity, and that would really make a difference to someone's life. Okay, can you manage to reuse a water bottle? Can you get one, or reuse something you already have at home? Can you commit to do that? Even if you just do it one day a week, you're still saving loads and loads of plastic. Can you encourage a friend to do the same? If you are having to use plastic bottled water for whatever reason, please make sure you are recycling the bottles. Curbside recycling will take them. If you're out and about, can I urge you to save your water bottle and put it in the recycling at home rather than stick it in a bin on the street, because that goes to general waste. It does not get sorted. The other thing with those plastic bottles, just to mention really quickly, because I've heard a few people say this, they say, oh, well, I reuse my bottle that, I've bought bottled water in. They're made from PET, it's called PET, I think it's type 1, the plastic. Please don't do that, because those water bottles are not intended to be reused. It's a different kind of plastic, and they will leach chemicals into your water. And this is especially true if it comes into contact with sunlight. So for example, if it's in a car and the sun's coming through, or it's near a window, please don't do that. It's not advised. They're not intended for that purpose. Okay, fantastic. I look forward to seeing you for part 3, which will be next week. Haven't quite decided what we're going to do it on yet. But I hope we've inspired you with a few tips there and a few thoughts, and hopefully you'll go away and think about that. Okay, thanks then. Bye.